Hi guys, my name is Chris Ord. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you 5 ways to find new clients for your photography business. As with any business, finding new photography clients for your new business can sometimes prove a bit difficult. I'm going to give you 5 tips today on where to look and what to do as proactive measures to go out and find the sorts of clients you need for your business. So number 1, first and foremost, identifying who your clients are. Now this is probably the biggest mistake I see photographers make over the years, where they come out as a photographer and they try and hit the whole market. They don't actually identify which individual customer sectors are the ones they want to work with. And they try and use a bit of a scattergun approach and think all their marketing can be marketed at everyone, when in fact this isn't really the right way to go about it. If you look at what you can offer as a skill set within your photography, there's very few photographers these days who can hit every single market. So if your speciality is weddings, think about the demographic of the type of couples you want to work with. Is it young couples who work in the city? Is it older couples who are having a second marriage? Think about the different areas where you specialize, and not only your skill set in photography terms, but also your personality. Your personality's got to suit the type of clients you want to work with. Once you've identified the type of clients you want to hit, there may be you pick 2 or 3 different markets, and maybe wedding photography, maybe portrait, and maybe newborn work. You can then funnel all of your marketing activity from there straight into those 3 areas, rather than still hitting the whole market and hitting people who are never going to actually buy your product or service. So number 2, and this ties in very closely to the first point of identifying your clients. Number 2 is you attract what you look like. Now if we break this down a little bit, I see a lot of photographers who shoot weddings, portraits, newborn shoots, all that sort of family orientated photography stuff. And then they post images of half naked models on their Instagram. And you think, do those 2 marry up? Do they go together? If you're trying to appeal to families with newborns, to parents who want images of their kids in the studio, posting pictures of models in that way isn't going to appeal to them. It's actually more likely to turn them off. So think about the type of work you're posting and target that towards the type of clients you want to work with. It may even be worth thinking about splitting your social media up, having your personal profile for the stuff you enjoy shooting. That's not necessarily the stuff that's going to drive your business forward. A really simple example of this, if you're looking to work with more restaurants in your local city, post more work that'll appeal to them. Look at the hashtags they use, even tag them into it. What's the worst that could happen? Number 3, referral networking. So would you agree, word of mouth business is the best kind of business you can get? Yeah? How many of you have a strategy to get more word of mouth business? So let that sink in a little bit. So working with local businesses in your local area can help drive your business massively forward if you're willing to invest the time. Now I attend a weekly networking meeting on a Friday morning at 6:30 in the morning. Now the reason I do that is because I start to build links with at least 30 plus businesses in my area, and at the minute that accounts for about 60% of my work. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not selling to these 30 odd businesses in the room. I'm looking to build trust with them, build relationships with them, so they pass me on to their clients. Through doing this type of marketing, I've picked up some of my biggest clients, people like the Holiday Inn. Now I couldn't have dreamed of walking into the Holiday Inn and saying, look, I want to come and take some photos from you. They would have laughed me out of the place. But through a contact of mine who also attends my networking group, who I have a trusted relationship, they put me in front of their clients, and I was able to pitch for that job and get that work on a regular basis now. And don't just think about networking with other businesses, network with other photographers. Now sometimes the photography industry can be full of people who don't want to interact with each other, they don't want to talk to each other, they don't want to help each other. But actually the more you interact with other photographers and support each other, help each other when you're in a jam, give advice, that's when you can really build relationships, and that's when it can start to pay off. I've gained 2 pretty big jobs from another photographer in the area who passed me on to their client because they couldn't do that job. Now again, much like my business networking, I would never have got these jobs if it wasn't for building those relationships. Number 4, this is why you should work for free. Yes, you heard me right, and if you follow my social media, you'll hear me talking about this till I'm blue in the face saying don't work for free. But there's one little caveat to that, and I'm going to tell you why now. So let's just say, as an example, you want to approach a professional sports club because you think you can provide images better than the ones they've already got. But you don't have that type of work in your portfolio to show them, even though you might be fully confident in your abilities to produce something really great. Imagine how that conversation would go. Hi, I think I can provide some images better than the ones you've got, probably at a more competitive rate. That's great, could you provide me with some examples so I can see? No. So this is one instance when working for free, I'm not saying with that client, can be really valuable to your portfolio. So if there's a client you want to produce and these guys are at a higher end and you believe you can provide a good or service to them better than the one they've got, go and approach someone else, whether it be a local sports club or a semi-pro sports club, and offer to take some images for free. Now the big part of this that's important is make sure it's on your terms. You want to be gaining out of this, certainly more than them, and by all means they're going to get some great images on the back of it. But more importantly, you're now going to have the images where you can go and approach bigger clients and show examples of the type of work you've done. Now it's got to be time effective. You don't want to spend too much of your time doing this and make it not worthwhile in the long run, because there's a chance you might not get the job with that other firm you're trying to get the job with. But now at least you have those shots in your catalogue so you can go and approach businesses and show them what you're capable of doing. And number 5, dare to be great. Now I'm a big believer in what's the worst that could happen. If you know what Dr. Pepper was a few years back in their marketing campaigns, you'll know what I'm talking about. But what's the worst that could happen by going and approach a business you're wanting to work with and just ask them, can I come and work with you? The worst thing that can happen is they say no. But at least if they say no, they know who you are and they know what you do. You're already one step ahead from where you were before. So just to give you a quick example of this, I walked past a restaurant in Newcastle recently, and their images on their outside window weren't particularly reflective of the great food I know they do. They've got a fantastic reputation up here in the Northeast, but their images didn't really reflect that. So I got in touch with them on Instagram just this week, and I said, hi guys, I've noticed you're posting images. They don't look like the professional images. Could I come and have a chat with you? Because I think I can really do something to help. And because I've already got these types of images in my portfolio, I was able to provide examples really quickly and talk about the sorts of clients I already work with. Now they reply, they are our professional photos, we're really happy with them. So I've done 2 things there. You know, what's the worst that could happen? They could just say no. Yeah, maybe I've alienated them a little bit because they've bought a product that they think is really good. And who am I to judge? You know, I'm going to talk about this in another video about uneducated customers in terms of price and quality, so we'll get into that in a bit more detail next week. But now at least I've spoke to the person in charge of their marketing, they have my details, and I've started to create dialogue so I know further down the line when they need that product or service again, I could be the first one they call. So don't be afraid to just go and ask someone. The worst that could happen, they say no. So guys, short and sweet, I hope that helps you a little bit, just to give you a few ideas on how you can get clients in your photography business. I will be posting a lot more content that's business minded over these next few weeks. So if you've enjoyed it, please make sure you give it a thumb up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. My name is Chris Ord, thank you very much for watching.